Okay, I've had people ask me for comparison videos to compare this to that, okay? And for this particular video, I'll be taking a look at the Surfans F20 and the Sony NW-A306, okay? And these are two great players. I really do like them both a lot, okay? So if you're on the fence of, you know, buying one or the others, I'm just going to explain kind of my thought process and the goods and the bads of them both, okay? Now, first we'll start with Surfans. Fantastic little player. Some key things I love about this: it does play music excellent. The sound is fantastic. It has a great dynamic feel to it. Bass sounds deep and rich. Instruments are plucky. You can hear them. Treble is not tinny. It sounds very good. Some cons to it though: the actual interface itself, which I almost need to bring down the lights here to show you. Let me dim the lights for a second. Now, the actual screen on the Surfans F20 is very small, but they do try and fill it with a lot of very relevant, very good data. Okay, so I do like it a lot. It does have a nice little photo. This particular music file, Duran Duran, does not have it photo included, but you could easily add one later if you like. Okay, it does go through, very easy controls. There's lots and lots to like about this player. The player itself does feature very nice controls. Definitely dig in the way that works. Love the little power button up top here is very good. It does have some side buttons for forward. The buttons are kind of spread out, so unlike the Sony, I think universally a lot of companies are pitting most of the controls here on the side now. This particular Surfans is with a older style USB, micro USB charging. The newer ones I believe do have USB-C, and I will have a link to a new one down below for Amazon for you, but I bought mine a while ago. It does have both balanced and regular 3.5 out, which is a nice little touch the Sony does not have actually, so if that's something important to you, that's something you definitely should consider. This does have very sharp edges, which I do like. I like the feel and look to this. It looks very high-tech. I like the metal scroll wheel here. It does have a little bit of like tilt in it, but it really is meant to be a scroll wheel. But I love the fact it's aluminum, it's metal. You can feel that as you turn it. It definitely has a texture to it, and you can feel it, and it feels very quality. It is a little bit notchy. You do feel notches as you turn it, but all in all, just fantastic scroll wheel, and the whole unit itself is really, really good. I would say that for the money, which is about $100 some, this is really a fantastic player. Now the question is, for more money, is it worth it or not? Okay, so if we flip here to the Sony, I have lots of videos for both these players, very in-depth videos that you can check out. Now the Sony is about $350, and it's rather hard to get a hold of right now. I do put links in the description for getting it, where I get it from, which I recommend getting from Amazon, personally, from the Sony store on Amazon, because return and stuff is better on Amazon than it would be directly through the Sony store, in my humble opinion. But either way, it's just a great little player. It does have some bells and whistles that this player doesn't have, okay? So although they both sound fantastic, as far as sound quality goes, I have to give it to the Sony. Sounds just a little bit better. And I think the big secret there is the fact that this unit here, I'm almost out of batteries, so this unit here does have some extra sound features that the other one doesn't have, such as a vinyl processor, such as clear audio, which I don't really use as much, equalizer. They both have a full 10 bar EQ, which is very good. This unit here does not have the DSEE Ultimate, which the Sony does have, which is a plus for Sony. Does have a DC phase linearizer and a dynamic normalizer, okay? And those are some features which, at least previously, before this unit came out, were really more reserved for the, $1,200, $1,000 plus units. And Sony really kind of broke the mold a little bit, like raised the bar definitely for a under $500 player for having all these sound enhancements, that you don't find in other players. The EQ on here does sound very good. And again, you can look at my full review of this if you go back in my queue to check it out. But it's still a great player with a great EQ and a great sound to it as well. But if I had to say, like, which one, despite price, which one sounds better, I would have to give to the Sony, because the Sony does have some additional sound filtering and some different effects the other one doesn't have that really helps bring out the sound, of course. And when you're listening to HD music, what you're really looking for is the snappy sound, okay? Both of them are very useful as far as how the buttons are laid out. The Sony buttons are all on the side, but they are kind of small. I find the buttons on this one, see how it's like silver and black? It's a little easier visually to see that, and maybe even a little easier to play with in the dark. Now, the F20 remains one of my very favorite players and definitely my very favorite for under $150. So if your price range really, I mean, realistically, if you really want to spend under $150, this is a fantastic way to go. You're going to have some great music on it. You're going to enjoy the sound, the functionality of it. It's definitely a great, cool looking case. Mine has gotten a lot of use. As you can see, it's got some scuffs on it. I do not have a case for it, so it has gotten a little scratched up, and that's because I use it. It's not, you know, taken out of the box one time and thrown on the shelf and never touched again. This bad boy gets some use, you know, so, and it shows it, but it's a great player. I do recommend it. So if you're really, if the deciding point is, do you want to spend under $150, I would go with this for sure. Great player. Okay. If you don't care about the 350 or not, if it's all the same to you, then I would go with the Sony, just because the Sony does actually have some additional sound filtering, and it sounds even better because of the sound filtering. But they both honestly sound excellent. Again, you really can't go wrong with either of these players. Both players sound really good, okay? I will say this does have 64 gigs memory and external storage, and this only has 32 gigs and external storage. So from a memory standpoint, this actually does win, you know? But if all things considered, you get the cassette screensaver, which of course I still love, and it does encourage me to try and get all my files to be of the highest quality, because I want to get that white Masterworks. In fact, I will show you, that's just a regular FLAC file, but if I go back, that's one of my lower quality MP3s or music files on here. But if I go to actually like my highest ones, let's see here, we'll pick high res, we'll pick albums, let's see, oh, not Jagged Little Pill, that's high res, but not the one I'm looking for. I was talking about the Beatles. If I play like a Beatles one here, and again, I'm not a big Beatles fan, but the fact that this gives you this amazing little master white cassette tells me that this is of the highest quality and just a great little file. So I really strive to try and get all my music on the best quality files possible, because you just even hear that much more. You know, all FLAC, all HD music is fantastic. You're going to catch some little things you never caught before, but with this, the highest version, you're going to catch even more, you know. So the fact that both of them do show you, you know, the quality of the music you're playing, this visualizer really helps me a lot, and really makes me want to get, you know, strive for the best quality music files better that I can get, you know, which is really good. So anyway, guys, again, watch full reviews, full unboxings of both these two players in their respective videos back in my queue. But of these two players, if I was trying to decide one or the other, if the deciding point was price under 150, I would definitely go with this, because this is out of that price range. If 350 doesn't matter to you, I would go with this one, just because of the sound quality features that are not in here, you know, and also because, you know, the screensaver helps you figure out like the quality, and of course the sound on both of them sound really well. But if I had to be honest, this one sounds just a little bit better because of the extra bells and whistles that are not included on this one. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with this one. Both of them will sound fantastic for you, okay? I hope that makes sense. For me, I love them both. I use them both, you know, and that's why I have multiple MP3 players and music players, HD music players, but they're both excellent, you know. I love them both for different things. So anyway, guys, I hope that helps you out a little bit. If you have questions or comments down below, let me know. Again, for full reviews of each of these players, more in depth, please watch your respective videos. But again, all things considered, I'd go with Sony. If price point was the issue, this is nothing wrong. This is a fantastic choice for under 150. All right, talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.